Warning, this podcast contains psycho. A bunch of psychos.
Well, sick.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the SC on TV podcast for Scream Season 2, Episode 2, Psycho. I'm your host, Dom. With me, the one and only B.
Hi. I know my bee's all like flying over here.
AKA Kim. You have bees flying?
It floats.
Oh, it's floating. Float like a
Not like
bee
right.
or fly? Sting like a butter?
Wait, I think you said that wrong.
Maybe. So, what'd you think of this episode?
I was waiting to see how long it would take for them to reveal that Jake is dead.
They waited a bit. I mean, we got into it.
But I was surprised it took that long.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's, I like the episode. Audrey is she's trying to cover up her tracks.
Yeah.
And
she's just digging herself deeper and deeper. Before I get into this episode, though, Sally Noble in chat she left a comment in our video from last week and said, "Did you happen to notice the red pig that Noah had? It ended up being at the farm where Jake went." I did not notice that.
I didn't notice that either.
And unfortunately, I did not have time to go back and watch, but I will take your word for it, Sally. I'm sure it is there. That's really interesting, and I don't know if that's going to be a clue as into that maybe Noah had something to do with this, or if it's just the fact that Noah is so investigatory, if that's a word, into like all his conspiracy theory that he would get a pig that's related to that farm because it was a pig farm. They may have had like some icon or whatever, and he could have gone there and taken, whatever the pig. I don't know. I didn't see the pig, so I don't know if it was a sign, if it was a like stuffed pig, if it was, a picture on the wall, something like that. But I'm thinking if it was something related to the farm, he may have a version of it with him, just because of the way he loves going into like all these crazy murder things.
Definitely have to go back and check that out now.
Yeah. She said it was upside down at the farm. That's interesting. I'll have to go back and check that out. But as for this episode, it started off where we left last week, where Emma's like freaking out about the stuff in the house. She runs into Brooke. They leave. Emma goes back and talks to her mom. And their mom's like, "Well, I didn't think it was relevant before. Or it was important before."
Her mom's very good at being like, "Oops, sorry, I didn't say something."
Yeah, I mean it's convenient for plot's sake. Obviously this pig farm wasn't written in last season, and they need to find out some way to explain it off as to why it wasn't mentioned this whole time. So just I didn't think it was important. That's a great way to do it, but it falls a little flat in terms of story.
It just like last season. I never trusted her mom. Like, her mom's got so many secrets, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now it's like you're obviously far more involved with this family than previously assumed.
Yeah, I mean, like, she kept going there after the family moved, like, out of town because they weren't welcome anymore, and she kept visiting even after she had Emma.
Right.
So she's like, "Yeah, let's go. We'll go together. We'll go look." And the whole fucking house is empty. It's clearly done to make Emma look crazy. So if she called the police, she even said it herself. It was, if I called the police and they went there to an empty house. Oops. Yeah. Then, sorry, that would be really bad. It'd make her look crazy. I mean, Brooke already thinks she's crazy. Right? Brooke is just like, "Hey, you saw shit last time things started going on."
Yeah.
you know? So, I don't know. Emma goes to confide into Kieran. Brooke's mom Emma's mom doesn't even realize she's gone, kind of thing. And then Kieran's just like, talking about how he was hearing, his father after, he died, and he was kind of adapting to that whole thing. And, shortly after that, we get into the sheriff shows up at the house and calls Kieran's legal guardian, which is his Aunt Tina. And I'm just like, oh, I don't like her already.
Oh, yeah, no. The moment she showed up, you could tell there was something wrong going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just immediately, I'm like, you look like a deadbeat. Like, it was just instant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, only got proven.
Yeah, as the episode went on, for sure. We find out she doesn't live in Lakewood. We kind of knew that because we got that information last week that his aunt would check in on him, every so often. But, it's illegal for him to live at home alone, especially when he's under 18. And then she's like, no, you're going to move to Atlanta. So Emma gets all upset, and Mother's like, yeah, call him on Skype, whatever, it's fine. So she kind of came to her senses, realized how bad it was. So she went to go talk to Aunt Tina, and, I don't think it really smoothed things over as much as Eli was just like, we have it really shitty at home. We could just live here for free, and there's a really nice house. I mean, it doesn't look like a big house. I could be completely wrong, but from what we've seen of the house, it looks like a small house.
But, I mean, it sounds like it's bigger than, they said that was like a one-room apartment. Whatever they were living in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true.
And that kid's creepy.
Yeah, Eli, I mean, he just shows up at the school, and he's just like, yeah, I don't go here. You're Emma.
Creeper. Kids are creepy.
He's super weird.
Total creeper.
Super weird. So, yeah, it's just like, all right, well, whatever. And then we realize he's cousin Eli and Kieran's cousin. It's just like, ooh, okay, well, that's going to make things interesting. But I don't like him. Don't like him one bit.
He's got, I mean, he's creeper. He's got his eyes on Emma. Now, what happens in that situation, I don't. But he's not like, oh, I have the hots for you. It's, oh, I'm being creepy.
Yeah. I mean, not as creepy as the sheriff's son.
Yeah, but he's got his sights on Brooke.
Yeah, right. But he's still super fucking creepy.
Oh, no, I'm not denying that he is creepy.
He's sitting in class, they're talking about zebras and dreams, and he's just like, well, the humans are predators, and, class kind of goes in a different direction from there, and Brooke's in class talking about, Jake and sending tit pics and everything, to Jake to try to get him to come around, and then he doesn't ever respond until Brooke's in the police station sitting next to the kid, and he just happens to grab his phone, and it's like, obviously they want us to think that it's him.
Well, yeah, they're definitely leading in the direction that of multiple things going on. Again, it's the same thought process. Everyone's guilty until proven otherwise, until they're dead. Usually that's how that works. So, yeah. Hey, we know Jake is not an accomplice.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for
sure. I mean, we have a few different leads. I also don't trust the new sheriff.
He's not as creepy as his son.
No,
but I don't trust him either. I
mean, there's a couple things, like the whole them getting called out, like the whole party thing. They had one party.
Yeah.
So who's?
And it didn't even seem like it was a huge party either.
No, it wasn't.
It was like a group of friends get together. It wasn't like, a big fucking high school rager. It was maybe 10 people. That's what it seemed like to me, anyway. But
it's either the sheriff is out to
get them,
be ridiculous, or someone else is.
I don't think it's Aunt Tina because she needs the money, so I don't feel like she's fucking around with his life or whatever. Eli, on the other hand, seems like the kind of kid that would. I don't know why, but I don't know his motive yet.
For some reason, I have a strong feeling that she's gonna die.
Aunt Tina?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have this thing.
But the The sheriff's son refers to the Lakewood Six and kind of gives them a numbering system.
Number, yeah.
All right, we find out Jake is number 6, Brooke is number 4, Noah is 3. I'm gonna assume that Emma's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
So where does that put Audrey at? 2 or 5?
I'd say, I don't know. Well, because the other one would be Karen. So where would Karen lie?
See,
I mean,
I'm thinking Karen would be 5 because I don't see him being as important as Noah or I don't see him
oh
being more
no,
important to the story than Noah. And if Noah's 3, like it would make Karen 5. That would make um, Audrey
Audrey
2.
would have to be 2. I mean, it makes sense. It would depend on how much he knew.
I mean,
Too.
Audrey is big badass, because the way he stabbed
Yeah,
Piper and all that. So
she's the one. She's the one who shot her in the
yeah,
face.
yeah. So
So yeah,
I,
probably 2.
yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate um, numbering system, personally. Yeah, because I see Noah being ahead of Brooke for sure. Brooke didn't really do too much, but we know that she was involved in her father and all that stuff with Jake and
well, she also got away.
yeah, for sure.
So
Well, so did Jake technically, but
yeah, you're right. Jake did get away, but that's the only thing that Jake did.
yeah, exactly. So
Like Brooke was far more involved with a lot of other stuff.
mhm.
So I could see that that's why she'd be at 4. But at the same time, Karen was actually a suspect.
Yeah, but that never panned out.
No.
But Noah's been, doing more stuff with his website and everything like that, and he gets after getting Emma on his podcast, they get all new comments and stuff like that, and they kind of get a new lead, right? Guy named Eddie Kruger claims that he saw Piper's accomplice. And he didn't go to the police because there was no evidence, so it's all conspiracy theory, at that point. And he wants to do his big reveal on the podcast, so Noah goes in person and has the interview with him. And you could see by the tape recorder, they had at least a 20-minute conversation. So, they go there, and at first Audrey offers to film it. And then when it goes time for Noah to go down there and interview him, she's nowhere to be found. And I was like, where is she? And then Eddie Kruger reveals that, there's a female accomplice. It was a female accomplice. They were there quite often talking to Piper. And then all of a sudden the killer calls. Or what we think is the killer. And it's actually Audrey. I'm like, Audrey, what are you doing?
She has the voice changer thing.
Yeah, well, it seems like in Scream 4, it's kind of like an app that people can fuck around with now, so. But, I don't know. She threatens him, and he basically shuts up and changes direction and ends the interview. So Noah's a little, flabbergasted, and he's just like, well, I did get some information. He didn't share with Audrey about there being a female accomplice, but he did share the fact that there's a storage unit that the motel owns, and he's going to go in the morning because it supposedly has Piper stuff in it.
Right.
So now I'm curious, did he set Audrey up to go on her own? Right? Because think if Noah knew that Audrey was going to come and then didn't show up, and then a phone call comes in and threatens the guy, right? He might assume that that's Audrey. And then by telling Audrey about the storage unit would get her to go there.
But the question now lies, does he know what was in that storage unit? Is he involved in what's going on now? Or was it all just a coincidence?
Right.
Because we know that when Aubrey opened the storage unit, we find Jake's body.
Mm-hmm.
With his intestines all over the floor, and there's scented things.
It
Apparently,
reminded me of the movie Seven.
yeah.
You know, when
The
Sloth, when they go into that room and the guy that's been laying in bed for, a year straight,
mhm.
and there's just air fresheners everywhere to cover up the smell. It's insane. So yeah, I don't know. He's in there. There's a note in it, and it says, "See how I finished the job for you, Audrey."
It was pinned to his body. So
Yeah.
that kind of, I mean, the thought process is that kind of sounds like Noah's involved, being that the only way that she would know to go there was if someone told her.
Right.
Noah was the only one that said anything,
Mm-hmm.
too.
Unless Eddie Kruger's the killer and put all that information in place.
Totally plausible. I mean, that it could be that that's the direction. He told him, Noah, because he knew that Noah would tell Aubrey because he knows that Aubrey was involved, thus then knowing that they would go to the thing.
See, now, it's safe to assume that Audrey is not actually the killer.
Not this time. Yeah, it's
And it was more of, I want to say, an accidental accomplice, because I don't think she actually did anything to help Piper. And if she did, it was under the assumption that it was to get back at people through journalism and not for murdering. Like, I don't think that when she was writing those letters that she knew that Piper was the killer.
see, but the problem is, if you remember, she was the one who got the mask from the sheriff's office in the very first episode of the first season.
Right.
I think she knew more than she let on, but she don't think she realized that there was going to be murdering.
Yeah.
And he said that they fought. They're fighting a lot. I think she didn't. I think the reason is because she didn't want to be involved with all the murdering. So the problem is that I think that when it comes down to it, she still could get, obviously, if she was caught, she'd still get in trouble, even though she may not have been doing the killing. If
Wasn't it
you know
revealed,
about
though,
it,
that she was blackmailed into getting the mask in the first episode? I thought that was a reveal. We didn't get it in the first episode. I thought it was revealed a little bit later.
I don't
Because she was
remember.
blackmailed with the photos and video, whatever, of her girlfriend.
Oh, whatever. Yeah,
And then Emma snuck into her house to steal the thing for her, and, you know. So,
that might be. Yeah.
I feel like she was blackmailed into all of that. I don't think she actually knew, and that's where it seems like she was an accomplice. But I feel like she was blackmailed into most of it. Didn't know that Piper was the killer, kind of thing, and now everything just really looks bad for her. So she's covering it up. So I think Audrey's completely innocent. All this was just wrong place, wrong time. Had a lot of pent up emotions. We saw those volatile letters, now that were sent to Piper, but it seems like more of that was let's get them back media wise, let's turn the town upside down kind of thing, not let's go on a killing spree. But now that Piper is revealed to have been the murderer, that can look a totally separate way. If people thought that Audrey knew that Piper was the killer, then, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like she's the accomplice.
Right.
So, and then we saw this episode of Audrey snapped on the girl from the theater.
Yeah.
She showed up. She's texting. Audrey thinks that the text message she just got is from her. And that's why, going back to the kid from, the sheriff's kid, it's the same thing. I don't think that it was just coincidence. Like two people texting at the same time happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
So Audrey thinks it's her. Pins her to a wall. Grabs the phone. Realizes she's only texting her boyfriend. So Audrey backs off. She's really starting to look crazy. Things aren't looking bad. Or things are looking bad. Things aren't looking good for her. And then, often the other director, we have Emma, who's, she's skipping out on her tutoring session with Zoe. Right, she's got a lot on her mind. She's got all this stuff going on, and she finally decides to talk to her teacher about it. They decide to go to the Grand House at 6. They meet up, and then we find out the teacher's got some ulterior motives going on. She's recording. Yeah, she's recording the session, and I'm like, is she gonna be the accomplice? Because you have a writer and like a psych professor or whatever. Ooh, that's a good team. I don't know. Do you think it's possible?
She's trying to write a book. Any numerous things when it
Right.
comes to. I mean, you're the psych teacher. They try to. I mean, there could be numerous amounts of things that she could be doing. The reason why she's recording this.
Right.
She could be analyzing more.
I'm gonna go with the book theory myself.
I think so too. That's my theory as well.
Yeah. So, but then Emma freaks out in there because she sees Piper sitting down drinking, and it's clearly not Piper. So, she realizes she's fucked. Like Brooke accused her of earlier, like I said, of seeing things. So, she decides that she's gonna go to Kieran's, and they're gonna go to the dock together. That all the bad shit happened with Piper, and she kind of relives that whole turmoil all over again. But
facing your fears.
yeah.
Facing
She surprisingly kept herself together, and apparently that warranted having sex in Kieran's car.
It's because it's supposed to be like this turning point. I guess it was.
It was a turning point, all right.
Well, remember she didn't want to like. They started to get like intimate in the beginning of the first episode, and she pushed him away because of all of her crap she's still going through. So she broke past that barrier that she had put up. So that's what decided to warrant sex. It's just like, I'm better now for the moment.
And apparently her scar makes her sexier. Is that how scars work?
Men. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think that's how scars work.
No.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe Kieran's into torture porn.
Let's not just say torture. It's not. It's people say stupid things during sex. Everything becomes sexy and whatever, and I love yous get thrown around and things get said that they don't mean.
I'm not going to tell the context of the story, who and what's and things, but it's kind of relevant to that statement. Someone I know got together with someone that they wanted for a really long time. And when I say someone, I don't actually mean me, so this is not a story about me. But someone that I know.
Let's clarify.
Yeah, I want to clarify that. Because if it was me, I would just tell you it's me. Because that's how I am. But they got together with someone that they wanted for a really long time. And they're like getting ready. They're like about to do it. And the guy starts cooing in her ear. Like a pigeon. To try to turn her on. And she's just like, nope. Then she like got up and pretended to throw up to get away. She like ran to the bathroom and just like started pouring water from a cup into the toilet. Yeah. So now every time I want to like get back at her, I start going. Yeah. It's really funny. So yeah, people do weird things. It's the moral of that story.
Okay, guys. Cooing is not sexy.
No.
It's just weird. Weird things are not sexy.
No, especially not pigeons.
Yeah.
And then we had Jake or quote unquote Jake texting Brooke's dad, right? Was that new text messages, or was he going through old stuff?
I was trying to figure out what the hell all of that was, because at first I was thinking, did he have Jake killed? What is all this text? I'm confused. Confused. What was going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. And then like Brooke confesses to her father. Father flips out that they're seeing each other, and Brooke had text. Jake had text Brooke, to send the pics. She never sent them, but he leaves flowers on her car with an apology note, and they're gonna go on a date, and Brooke goes to the house to see him and doesn't answer the
Half naked.
door. Hmm.
And okay, I won't say she's half naked, but that's barely addressed.
Yeah, that is barely a dress. But she goes there. She's waiting on the front porch, like, because he's not answering. Because we already know he's dead. He's been dead this whole time. So who the fuck is pretending to be Jake? It's the killer, but why? Who? Who is it? And then we see creepy sheriff kid like looking at Jake's house with Brooke sitting on the front porch. It's like, okay, we know Jake's parents are in like Mexico or something. It's just, I don't know.
It's doing a lot of pinpointing at him, but because it's doing so much pinpointing at him, I'm thinking it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's funny. It would be funny to be like, "Oh, it's not the obvious," and turned around, it is the obvious. Oh, we got you.
Yeah. I mean, because like you'll get the casual viewer that'll sit there and watch and be like, "Oh yeah, I knew it was him all the time." But then you get people like us that analyze everything and be like, "No, it was way too obvious." And then when it turns out to be him, it's like, "What?" It's more of a shock to
Damn it.
the hardcore crowd. So I don't know. A lot happened this episode. It's kind of crazy, and I don't know. This show just gets better and better as it goes on, and I like going into it. I was just so upset, and I was just like, oh, they're not referencing the movies. They're not using the correct mask, and it's like I go in with all these issues, and it's like as soon as I start watching, every time it's just like everything's put to ease. Like it's a show. Even when I was like, oh yeah, I gotta watch Scream today. I was like, I didn't watch Scream until like this afternoon. I was like, we got the show tonight. I have to watch it today. But then as soon as I sit down and watch it, I'm like, I fucking really love this show. Why do I like put it off so much? Like I should be watching this live when it's airing, because it's so goddamn good.
I was pretty much. I mean, it was the same way. When we first were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this podcast," and I was like, "Well, this is really kind of up my alley because, I'm a horror buff," and I'm like, though I didn't know that there was a fourth movie last season. I was like, wait, what? And then I watched it.
It was good too.
Oh yeah, really good.
It was better than 3, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 3 was kind of. But so I mean, I was under the same impression. I'm like, okay, so let's see how they do. Because I was really worried about how are they going to turn. I mean, like they made the joke about it, how you turn a slasher movie into a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you extend a horror movie like this into a TV show? How do you extend it out to where it becomes something that is longer than a season? And I mean, they did extremely well. We had no idea what the hell was going on the entire time. Everyone becomes a suspect, and that's the glory of it, is that we sit through an entire season going, anyone could be the killer.
Yeah. Yeah, and they moved away this season from, a murder an episode kind of format that they had last season. This one, it's Jake's death spread across 2 episodes so far. So, I mean, it is a big name death, and we as the audience got to view the death last week, and then this week, Audrey, at least, one of the members of the, gets to find it, and then it's what is she going to do with the body? Like, she just gonna pull the pins out and wait for Noah to go find it the next day? Or is she gonna be like, well, I really couldn't wait and I went and here it is? How do you think she's gonna handle that?
I don't know. I mean...
Because I did see in the next week on Scream at the end of the episode, she's on the phone with the killer in front of the body. So... She's talking to him. We know that much.
And right now, her fingerprints are all over the shit. So that's the thing. I think the only thing right now that would save her would be to pull the pins out and call the cops.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, this is the reason why I'm here, or call Noah and then call the cops.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait, blah 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 blah, whatever, and do it like that. Because right now it just looks more like she did it. Especially with her name stuck on the body.
Right.
So.
Yep.
How smart she plays the next, will be what plays the rest of things go, pretty much.
Yeah. But this episode was called Psycho. It's going in the theme, of movies. Next week, the episode is called Vacancy, which I think is a 2007 horror movie, if I'm not mistaken. And it says, completely forgot. Sorry, hold on, before we go into that. Car following Emma and ends up being her father.
Oh, I don't know how I could
forget that, but yeah. So Emma's dad's back in Lakewood. So, ooh, interesting. Anyway, so now next episode.
The role he plays.
Yeah, Emma works through the implications of her father's return. Bloody gift proves Audrey's stalker is progressing, and Branson returns to Lakewood. That's our synopsis. I'm gonna assume that it's the brother and not.
Well, wouldn't that be interesting if it
right?
is not the brother?
Right.
Like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be dead? Oh, you're not dead.
Yeah. So, and it's really interesting. He returns at the same time that Emma's father does, and
that is very interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. So, how do you think things are gonna go with Emma's father? Because she made plans to go have dinner with her mom. Now she's gonna show up with her dad. There too.
I don't know. I mean, we know that he left after everything that went down, because he couldn't handle his own issues because he was one of the original survivors of what happened originally.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention his wife, or girlfriend at the time, had the child of the killer.
Yeah.
So,
it's gonna be interesting.
And then she was obviously, now we know that she was still hanging out with the family.
Yeah.
Even after Emma was born. So that's interesting. And why? Why?
Well, she kind of felt bad. She said.
That's what she says. I think there's more to it.
And maybe she had a relationship with the brother too.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's
Emma's mom. You just fuck everything up.
You whore. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking something else was going on there. I could be totally wrong, but it just seems like there was something else happening.
Yeah.
For her to be around that much. I mean, when we know, I don't remember when her father left. It was early on. I mean, she was young still.
Yeah. So
it possibly could be that, because I don't think Emma's father would be too happy with her hanging out with the family. So I'm thinking he was gone before this. So maybe she confided, and
could be.
Yeah. That's just a thought. I don't know. I definitely think there's more to it.
Yeah.
Than she is saying.
Well, we will definitely find out next week. And until then, B, where can the people find you?
On the Twitters, though I am a retweet bot. Huffy Buffy, HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
I heard you were accused of being a retweet bot.
I am. I've been accused of being a retweet bot.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASO TV Podcast. There's more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next week, see you guys later.
Bye-bye. 2 hours and 90 minutes.
2 hours and 90 minutes later. Not 3.5 hours. 2 hours and 90 minutes.